So the Coastal Zone Management Plan is all about managing risk in the coastal zone. To work out what those risks are, we need to work out what the hazards are. When we talk about coastal hazards, we talk about inundation, erosion, long-term recession of the beaches. And a coastal hazard study has actually been done to work out what those hazards are, and those hazards have been mapped for the entire coastline, for all the beaches on the coastline. Once we have those hazards mapped and articulated, we can then work out what assets are within those zones and what assets are at risk. And when we talk about risk, we talk about the combination of likelihood and consequence of a particular hazard. So when we talk about likelihood, we talk about the probability that a particular storm might occur and cause damage to the asset. When we talk about the consequence, we talk about what's the consequence of damage to that asset. So some types of assets might have low consequence of damage. For example, you've got access ways on beaches that are really designed to be in the coastal zone, and there's really a low consequence if those get damaged. But other assets, such as hospitals or roads, might have a much higher consequence, even though they're subject to the same hazard. So the purpose of the Coastal Zone Management Plan, as I said before, is to actually come up with actions to manage the risks in the coastal zone. And to work out what those risks are, we've done a risk assessment, looking at all the public assets in the coastal zone, looking at the consequence of their damage, looking at how much the monetary value of that damage is, using Council's risk management framework that they've had in place for many years. And from that, we're then able to rank all of the risks for all the different public assets and come up with different options to manage those risks.